Welcome and warm welcome to High Tech Institution.
Hi team, welcome to our YouTube channel. So in this video, we're just going to discuss about effective incident response, which means if our website suddenly just get down at 2 a.m., generally people won't be available in that time. So in that time, if the server is just got failed, the application is not working. So how we just going to troubleshoot what really the organization would do in that moment. So that is what we going to discuss in this video. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, first thing, contents. Okay, so what are all the contents we just going to discuss? First, introduction, the step-by-step response, and if any interviewer going to ask these questions in your live interview, how you should answer, that also we're going to discuss. And the DevOps mindset and the how to prevent from the 2 a.m. calls. Okay, so the preventive things and all, I'm just going to tell. Okay, fine. First thing is introduction. So now imagine currently now the time is 2 a.m. You are just sleeping. Suddenly your phone rings and you just get an alert. So your company website is completely down. So your customer is not able to access. They couldn't log in and they couldn't do anything in that UI. So obviously, if this gonna happen, obviously business is losing in every minute. So now what will you do? So this is the scenario. How we going to manage this scenario? That is what we're just going to discuss today. Yeah. Okay, so the step-by-step response. First thing is, so don't get panic. So in the panic and all, people will be making more mistakes. So we just need to open our laptop and we need to connect our laptop with our VPN, okay, Office VPN, and then we can see the alert messages properly. Okay, so when you go to an organization, so most of the organization would use these monitoring tools: Nagios, Prometheus, Datadog, Grafana, and Azure Monitor too. Okay, so what and all we going to check here? So is the server is down, or is the CPU utilization is 100%, or is the memory is full, or is the disk is full, or the database is not responding properly? So these and all we can check it in this monitoring alerts. Okay, and then we will be going to the website directly. Okay, so we can just search the web page URL into the browser, and that itself we can check like what exact issue we are getting. So is completely down, or it's just getting slower, or we just getting in 500 error, or 500 error in the sense internal server error. Internal server in the sense we need to log into the machine and we need to check that. In some of the cases, the web service is having any problem with that application, so we will be getting it. And 502, 503 error. 503, 502 error is basically comes from the load balancer side, which means load balancer side is everything working properly, but the load balancer is redirecting requests to the missions. Those missions are not capable or not there to process the response. So mostly people will be getting 503, 502 error in that aspect. And is it a real DNS issue? DNS issue in the sense, suddenly if in some of the cases, people will be having a dynamic IP, but generally dynamic IP is not recommended. So some of the cases, the domain has just got changed. The public IP is just got changed. So people will not be getting the response. So we need to check from there also. So this is what, we will be checking directly to the website in the browser. After that, we will be identifying the problem. Okay, so these are the 5 major things we will be identifying it. Okay, so the first one is server crash. Okay, the first one is server crash. If you are using an Amazon EC2 or Azure virtual machine, maybe the VM EC2 or instance terminated, or app service might get crashed. Okay, so for that, how to check is the instance is running and we can try to restart the instances. Okay, if the load balancer people are using, in the sense, we can try it, so no issues. And checks the system logs. Okay, we need to log in inside and we need to check the system logs. Okay, and then high traffic. Okay, so too many users when we will be facing this scenario. So website called sudden traffic, like Black Friday offers, and in the Amazon, Flipkart and all, people are giving a lot of offers, right? So in that time their users aware of that offer, and so many requests would comes in a particular time period, so the server couldn't process all the user traffics. So we might face this issue in that scenario. And if any hacker is trying to perform the DDoS attack, we didn't prevent it from the DDoS attack. So we will be facing this scenario. And so what we need to check: CPU usage and auto scaling actions. Okay, so generally we will be using EC2 auto scaling. And if in Azure, we have something called Azure Virtual Machine Scale Set. Both services are literally used to perform the auto scaling. So for that, first we will be checking CPU utilization and auto scaling status. Make sure the new instances are created. Okay, so this setup is completely to tackle the high trafficking scenario. And database issue is literally common. Okay, so first we need to check the DB is running and be able to reach the DB or not. And we need to check the DB disk is full or not. Okay, so in AWS, we have a service called RDS. In Azure, we have something called Azure SQL. So we need to ensure this thing in these databases. Okay, and then the disk is, if the disk is full, okay, if the disk is full, in the sense, the applications would stop working and logs cannot be written actually. So for that, what is the solution, exact solution, if our disk is full? So the first thing is, just go to your VM and delete your old logs. And here you can do the vertical scaling to your disk. And then you can clean the temporary files, which is to prevent from these issues. Okay, then the logs will get generated, so we won't miss anything. And coming to the deployment issue, this is the major issue in most of the scenarios. So if the developer is done, they code their application is everything. So the DevOps team is initiated the pipeline in the midnight. So if there is a bug inside the deployment, this issue might appear. So what we can do is, if this issue is appearing in the GitHub Actions workflows or Azure DevOps or any workflows or any pipeline things, we can do the immediate rollback action to sort it out, this deployment issue, which means we are just getting to the previous version. Immediate rollback to prevent it. Actually, this is a temporary one. Later, once we troubleshooted the bug, we can initiate the next deployment. Okay, so these are the things we will be identifying as a problem. Okay, after that, we need to tell the information, the respective issues that we are facing, right? So we need to tell properly with our team, like it can be the team leader or manager. In a rarest case, okay, in a rarest case, we will be informing this kind of issues are happening in the resources. So we will be fixing it within 20 minutes or 10 minutes, like we need to convey. Okay, so generally we should not try to hide any issues from the client. But mostly, we won't discuss, we won't convey anything with our client, only manager and then TL, we will be discussing with them. Okay, but this is the rarest case. So we need to we need to completely communicate the respective thing with the team. After that, our main goal is, we need to fix that website up. Okay, we need to fix the website down from two up, and then even if a temporary solution is okay, and a permanent fix, obviously I said right, in the latest deployment had a bug. So if we do rollback, we can fix that issue, in the sense people can do the rollback. Okay, later once they fix the bug, they can do the deployment. So that is the temporary solution. So even a temporary solution which is good, in this kind of scenarios, permanent fix and all, they can done it in the later. Okay. After that, root cause analysis. Okay, after fixing everything, so we need to prepare a proper document so that we can prevent these kind of issues from the future scenarios. Okay, so root cause analysis document. Why it has happened? How just to prevent this on next time, and do we need better monitoring, or do we need any better auto scaling things, or do we need a backup or incident time impact, actual root cause, fix applied, prevention steps. Like we need to completely prepare a document and we need to keep it. Okay, so this is the exact thing you guys need to do in the real time. After that, if this scenario is going to happen, so how you just going to answer this in interview? Let's see. So if the interviewer is asking like, so what will you do if the website is down at 2 a.m.? So you can answer it like, first I would check on the monitoring alerts, like from the Azure Monitor or CloudWatch. I'll be monitoring there. Then I'll be verifying whether the issue is in the server side or from the database side or somewhere in the network communication. Like I'll be ensuring the things. Then I'll be checking the logs and the resource usage. And if needed, I will be restarting the services or I'll be performing the rollback deployment. Okay, which is to prevent from the last deployment bug. And after that, after restoring the service, I will perform root cause analysis and implement the preventive measures. Okay, like you need to convey this to your interviewer. If possible, you can put some add-ons also in this answer. Okay. And then bonus tips. Okay, so to prevent this kind of calls from 2 a.m., so how and all you can prevent it. So proper monitoring we need to do, and proper auto scaling setup, that can be an auto scaling group or low virtual machine scale set. We need to ensure that, and load balancer health check configuration, backup and DR strategies we need to implement properly, and log rotation and test before production deployment. Okay, mostly we will be doing this in all the scenarios. We have something called staging environment. In that staging environment, we will be deploying all the infrastructure. Like that itself, we will be troubleshooting the actual issues. Everything we will be troubleshooting there. Then we'll be doing the same setup into the production environment. So these are the things we need to ensure properly. Then we won't get any calls, these kind of calls in the midnight. Yeah, so that's it, guys, in this video. I hope this video really helps to many of the beginners who just wanted to start their career into cloud. Yeah, so that's it, guys. I'll come up with the next interesting topic on the next video. So until then, signing off from, thank you all. Bye-bye.